الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي وبعد. Inshallah, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accepts our fasting and that He accepts our prayers, our sadaqah, our ruku', our sujood, and our dua that we make for Him and solely for Him. Ameen. And I also would like everyone, inshallah, to keep my uncle. I just got news from my cousins and my wife that he's really ill. He's been in the hospital, but he just was admitted into ICU I think it was yesterday. So his condition in Washington State. So I pray to Allah, Allahumma rabbanna adhib al-ba'sa ishfi anta shafi la shifa illa shifa'u. So alhamdulillah. So inshallah today it's most our lesson will be more of the parents about the youth. What can we do to make them better Muslims and make them feel more welcome? As the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Ightanim khamsan qabla khamsin." He said, take advantage of these 5 opportunities before 5 other opportunities overcome you. So we must take advantage of these 5 before 5 other things will come. So the first he said, "Shababaka qabla haramik," meaning your youth before you become old. And for this reason, just this lecture, inshallah, will be concentrating on our youth. What we as parents, because we have youth, what we as parents can do to help our youth to keep their Muslim identity and to keep them, coming to the Masjid and, keep them close to us as, a family. Because nowadays, we're really far from our youth as parents. The way, like I'm always going to say, the way our parents raised us, we can't raise our youth that way. You ask the 2 youngsters here. The way our parents raised us, always smacking and this and that and threatening. We have to change our ways now. We have to change our ways. This generation is a different generation. So everything we have to make sure that, we have to, be there for them. But first of all, the Prophet said, "Shababaka qabla haramik." As we know when we were young, how we were. How troublemakers we were, right? We didn't listen to our parents. We didn't do, our parents told us to do this and we did that. They said no, we said yes. This is our reality. This is how we were growing up. And then now we have children and our children are doing the exact same thing and we're sitting there, screaming at them and yelling at them. And I admit it myself. I'm like that with my son. And my wife catches me, she's like, "Honey, you were like that once, so relax." So sometimes your wife, will put you in your place. But what are things as parents that we can do to help our youth? Help them keep their Muslim identity. Help them become better Muslims. One of the things, there's some things that I brainstormed and I came up with. I came up with about like 10 things, I believe. The first thing that we can do is take parenting more seriously than we would of our full-time job. You know how serious we are about our jobs? Very serious. We can't be late. We must, take lunch at this time. Our break time is this time. But what about parenting? Our parenting, the way we parent and the way we treat our kids and we give them our time, it has to be more serious than our full-time job. Because our kids are amana from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us. So we have to take our time seriously. When we're home with them, we come back from work, we have to give our time to them. Yes, like I always say, we're tired, we're exhausted. But if we don't give them our time, who will they go to? What will they do? "Oh, my dad is busy. Oh, my dad's 3 o'clock, my dad's home from work. I know he's tired. I'm going to go hang out with my friends." And imagine what they're doing with their friends, what they're talking about. So if we come home as parents and we're not there for them, and we're not there to talk to them and hang out with them and smile to them and be there for them, they're gonna go look for it elsewhere. And they're gonna look from their what? Their friends, their peers. The friends that they hang out with in school, the friends that they're with 8 hours a day. These are the people that they call the road dogs. They call the ride or die homie. This is what they call. These people are the ones that are going to be there for them. Even if my mom or my dad's not there for me, these are the people that I'm turning to. My BFF, my best friend. So if we're not going to give them our time, they're going to look for it elsewhere. And when they look for it elsewhere, then we've lost them. They're not going to come to us with their problems. They're not going to come to us when they have, when they're in different situations. They're not going to come up and ask us for our advice. But they're going to go seek it from their friend. So the second thing that I came up with is change your work schedule. If you can work early in the morning, super early in the morning, and get home before they get home. I know it might be hard. Or maybe even work late at night, so then you're home during the day with them. And some of us as parents, we have 2 jobs. Yes, I know we have to pay bills. Yes, I know we have needs. But the need of your children is more important. As a parent, we rather have less luxuries in our houses, less, cheaper cars, and spend our time more with our children on the weekends. Yes, I know, like I said, you have bills, you have rent, you have this, you have that. But if your main focus is work, and your children grow up, and they're misled, they go astray, and it's too late, what are we going to do? Who are we to blame? Who are we going to blame? No one but ourselves, because we're so busy with work. I know a brother, and I talked to him. He's actually my uncle. And I asked him, what do you regret most growing up? When I had a child, I was asking a lot of my uncles, what can I do as a father to, be there for my son? He's like, number one, wallahi, the thing that I regret, when my son was growing up, was not being there for them. And then my son eventually went astray. But after going astray, alhamdulillah, he came back, to the deen. But he said, growing up, I was never there for him. My son was a star basketball, football, and soccer player. 3 sports my son was amazing at. But the fact, as a father, all I cared was about making money. All I cared was about the cars I was driving, how big my houses were, and how people thought of me. I wanted people to think I was rich. So I was working day and night, and I didn't care about what he was doing. His education, his Islamic education, nothing. Then I lost him. Then my son eventually went into gangs, eventually got into drugs, eventually this and that. And it's because of me as a parent. All I cared was about money, house, cars, this and that. And I'm not saying that it's, you can't have nice cars and big houses. Yes, you can. But we have to manage, and we have to understand that if this is all we think about and we leave our children away, then we're going to lose them. So try to change. If you have if you have 2 jobs and you do not need this second job, quit and spend that time with your children. And by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you do that, you will see a difference in your child's life. How they're more attached to you, and how they love you more, and how they respect you more, and how they come to you and ask you for advice. And another thing is family time. Have family time. When was the last time you actually sat as a family? I know growing up, it wasn't in my household with my father, we didn't really have family time. Sometimes okay, it's time to eat, so everyone would come and just eat. My sisters would eat there and there and there. This was my dad. My dad growing up, he was a farmer. So when he ate super quick. My dad's meal is probably 5 or 10 minutes. He's done, he's off. He goes and do what he needs to do. This is the way they were raised. This is the way the elders were raised. But nowadays, we have to change it. Have family time. Tell your kids, Friday night, Maghrib, we won't pray at the masjid, but we will pray in the house. Or Isha, we will pray in the house as a family, and we will after dinner. We sit there, ask them, and talk to them. Just once a week. Friday night, Saturday, whatever night, Tuesday night, whatever night you as a family choose. Say, this day is family time, no phones, no electronic, no iPad, no computers, no nothing. We're going to sit here and just stare at each other, right? We're going to sit here and look at each other. And you as a father, talk to him. What did you do in school today, son? Learn about him. Understand what he likes to do. How many of us can name 5 things our children like to do? We'll probably be like, oh, he likes to phone, game, that's it. Shaitan box. We probably can't name 5 things that our children likes to do. Or that in other words, that they're good at. Not what they like, but that they're good at. It's because we don't sit with them. We don't spend our time with them. So when we have these family times, we sit and have dinner with them. We sit and, have snacks with them and talk to them. Even watching TV, sit and watching TV with them. Just being there with them. I don't advise you to watch TV with them. But even if that, you can do that with them. Just to spend time with them. Go on a walk with them. Just you and them as a family. And believe me, by doing this, you will understand and you will see that, man, it makes a difference. Now my kids can gain my trust. Now my kids will come to me for things like, Daddy, you know what? They will come to you and talk to you. They will express their feelings to you. Attend halaqahs, just like the uncle here, bringing his kids. Our kids are probably not are at school now. Yes, they're done with school. They're probably tired. But this goes a long way. My dad comes to the halaqah. My dad comes to listen to lectures. That means I have to come. Because he makes it important. So it's important in my life. You show your kids that it's important. And they will understand that it's important. Whether they, you force them to come, believe me, even if by you forcing them to come, in the future they will understand why it's important. Growing up, my dad, there was one rule in my house. Salah. Prayer. You don't miss prayer. Oh, wallahi, if I missed any prayer in my household, my sisters and my brother can attest to this. If I missed a prayer in the masjid, subhanallah, it was like qiyamah in my house. My dad would be mad at me for 2 days. He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't even look at me. This was the rule in the house. Even if I was at prayer and my younger brother wasn't at prayer, I got in trouble. If I was not at prayer and my younger brother was at prayer, I got in trouble because I'm the older brother. I'm the role model. And my father never missed a prayer in the masjid. So it was important to him that prayer, he said that prayer, as long as you can do anything you want. I used to play sports, soccer, and my dad said, I don't care where you pray, what you do, when it's time to pray, you come and pray. Even if you have to miss your soccer practice, I don't care. So this was a rule in the house. So by you bringing your son, whether you force him to come or not, by Allah, in the future, he will understand how important the masjid is, how important prayer is, how important Islam is to him in his life. Because you showed him. The Prophet ﷺ said that the angels are actually above us right now and around us right now. And halaqah of al-ilm, the people that remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will tell the angels to go look for people of halaqah of Islam, of dhikr. Thank you. Of dhikr. The ones that remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now the angels are around us. And they actually are together around us. Then the angels, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, did my servant see me? They say, Ya Allah, if they saw you, they would glorify you more. They would do more takbir and tasbih to you, Ya Allah. But my main point is, towards the end of the hadith, the Prophet said, Ya Allah, what about the ones that were forced to come? They came here just to meet their friend. They came here because their father told them to come. He said, even for them is Jannah. Even for them. Even they didn't come here with the intention to listen to my boring speech, my useless speech. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make our speech beneficial. But even if they come, even their parents made them come. They came because they were supposed to meet a friend. Even for them is Jannah and maghfirah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive them. So this is how important, the gathering of dhikr, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet is. Then be respectful to them. Treat them as a friend. It was said that the first 7 years of a child's life, you should treat them like a king. Pamper them, feed them, clothe them, everything. Then the second 7 years of their life, after they turn about 8, 9 years old, you treat them like a student. So they're like a student to you. Then from 14, 15-ish, the next 7 years until they're 21, or until they're older, you treat them like they're your friend. This is the way to treat our children. The first 7 years of their life, you treat them like a king. The second 7 years of their life, you treat them like a student. Then the third 7 years of their life, you treat them like a friend. When we were 17, 18, we didn't like it when our parents treated us like, infants. Yelling at us and, no. But we like it when they come to us as their friend. When they treat us as a friend. When they, talk to us like with respect. How friends, speak to each other. And the next thing is learn and read and, do research of what our children like to do. Yes, maybe your children like to play video games. It's reality now. Sit there and play video games with them. Right, boys? You guys like to play video games? Fortnite, right? No? What's your favorite game? Mario, yes. As a father, sit there with them and play with them. I don't care what other people said. Sit there and play with them. My son would play Legos, and I am horrible at Legos. The first time I played Legos with my son, you know what happened? I broke his Lego. He's like, Daddy, relax. It's breakable. Don't be too hard on it. I broke it. So now it's like somehow, I hope my son doesn't hear me, but I don't like playing Legos with them. It's boring to me. But the fact that they like it, I sit there with them. To show them that I'm here for them. Whatever you do, anywhere you are, I'm here for them. Because when you show them this, then they will come to you every time for advice. So learn what they like to do. They like to be relevant to them. Be relevant with them. They like to play baseball. Learn about baseball. They like to play football. Learn. Play football. Kick a ball with them. Go out to the park and play baseball. Play catch with them. Whatever they like to do. Be there with them. Video games, like I said. Play with them. Don't worry. Play with them. Believe me, it will go a long way. Some of the brothers say shaitan bad. But believe me, you being there with them will go a long way. And they will know my dad. Even I'm playing video games, my dad is sitting right beside me playing video games. This is the youth nowadays, brothers. Maybe you don't agree with me, but it is reality. You can ask some of the uncles that have younger kids. This is the reality. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, Tahadu wa tahabu. He said, give gifts, and then you will love each other. One day, come back home from work. See, now you guys owe me a gift, right? Come back home from work, stop by the store. Buy your son his favorite candy bar. Buy him a video game or something. I don't know. Something that you know he would love. Buy him something. Buy him, a book that you know he likes to read. Come home and surprise him with a gift. And they're like, oh man, Daddy, thank you so much. You remembered me. It's the thought that counts. Oh, Daddy, even though you were busy at work, you worked overtime, but you still came home and got me a gift, Ya Allah. By you giving gifts to them, by you, being there with them, they will remember it. And you know what? By you giving gifts to them, believe it or not, they will end up finding something, finding a way to get some kind of money, or get some type of gift in order for them to pay you back. Even if they give you, for example, a keychain that says, I love you, Daddy, or something. So when you do this, they will know that how important giving gifts to people are. Then they'll be giving gifts to their friends, their mothers, their sisters, and their peers. So by giving them gifts and remembering just the small thing, even if it's nothing big, a candy bar, they will be like, thank you, Daddy. And they know that, oh, see, my dad knows my favorite candy. So when your dad gives you guys gifts, you guys owe me something, okay, boys? So, and the next is when they make mistakes. When they make mistakes, don't be too fast to yell and correct them. To be honest with you, some kids learn the hard way. Some kids learn the hard way. One father came up to me and he said, brother, my son is a drug addict. My son, smokes marijuana. And from him smoking marijuana, it led him to harder drugs, methamphetamine, cocaine. And this is what our kids see and hear every day. This is something we can't avoid. It's the truth. You guys don't like it, I'm going to say it, but it's the truth. He said, but I don't want him to go to jail. I don't want him to go steal. I don't want him to do this and do that and go rob people. So I support him. I what? I support his drug habits. I give him money so he can go buy these methamphetamine and these alcohol and the cocaine and the marijuana so he doesn't go out and... I was like, brother, to be honest with you, I know you're probably going to hate me for this, but let him do that and let him go to jail and learn the hard way. I said that to him. I said to him straight up, some of us kids, youngsters, youth, have to learn the hard way. So he's like, I can't, as a father, I can't. I was like, but by you helping him with this drugs and feeding him, you think it's going to help him, it's going to make him better? It's not. Maybe him going to prison. Sometimes you hate something, but yet it is. Sometimes you hate something, but yet this thing is good for you. So maybe by him going to jail, na'udhu billah, may Allah protect our children from drugs and from prison. Ameen. Ameen is free, uncle. Don't worry, brothers. But imagine, I said maybe by him going to jail, he will become better. Or would you feed his addiction? Would you help with his addiction and then watch him die? Watch him overdose? Or would you rather have that? I said, weigh your options. Would you keep helping him until he overdoses from his addiction? Or would he go to jail and stop all this and have therapy there? Which would you rather have? He's like, of course I don't want to see my son die. Which father wants to see their son die? As a father, we want our sons to bury us instead of we bury our sons. So I said, let him learn the hard way, brother. This is the only way. You keep funding his habits, he's going to end up dying in your house, and you're going to be burying him. So Walillah alhamd, he got into his son's life and he helped them, he got closer to him, and alhamdulillah, his son has stopped doing the drugs. But like I said, sometimes they have to learn the hard way, brothers. And kids, this is us. They have to understand reality. For everything you do, there's a consequence. Whether you like it or not, this is going to happen. Sometimes we just have to let them learn on their own. But we also have to be there with them through their side. But just let them know that if you're going to do this, this is the choice you make. These are the consequences that you're going to face. And another one is date your teen. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. Astaghfirullah. Date? Yes. Date your teen. Date your son. Date your daughter. Go to the mall with him or her. One day of the week or once a month. Say, son, today's our day. We're going to go hang out. We're going to go kick it. We're going to go to the movies. Astaghfirullah. Your son likes to watch movies. What can you do? Your son likes to go to the mall. Your son likes to do this, do that. Go to dinner with him. Have a date with your daughter. If you don't want your daughter to date boys out there, then date her. Bring her out on a date. To lunch, to dinner. Do stuff with her. And do stuff with him. As a mother, bring them. Go out on a date with them. Yes, date them. Hang out with them. Just you and them, the two of you. And go and hang out and have fun. Go and play games. Go to the carnival. Go to whatever. What they like to do. But of course, within the Islamic boundaries. Within the Sharia, of course. So date your teen. Shopping. Games. Whatever they like to do. To the beach. Whatever. They like to walk on the beach. Go with them. Because if you don't date them, who will? Their boyfriend. There's always a kid. There's always a sister or a boy or a girl out there that likes your child. Whether your child knows or not. And they're trying to get to them. So date them. Date, yes. Bring them. So after Ramadan, inshallah tell your kids Ramadan is the masjid time. It's you and I, son, and you and I, daughter, as a mother, in the masjid. This is our date. But after Ramadan, we are going to take a date monthly. We're going to go out and hang out on whatever you like to do. So boys, after Ramadan, whatever you guys like to do, you tell your dad, we're going to go. This is what we have. We as parents have to take initiative. We have to step up. Our kids aren't going to, our kids are afraid of us. Like, oh man, if I ask my dad to go to the movies, he's probably going to yell at me. If I probably ask my dad to go to the carnival, he's like, oh, what, you think we have money? You think, I have free time? But do this, believe me, by you doing this, dating them and, hanging out with them, it's going to go a long way. And they're going to gain your trust. And also let them be a part of the decision making you make in the house. For example, you want to change the kitchen, right? You want to change the living room. You want to get new beds. You want to get new couches. Tell them, call them, hey son, we want to change our bathroom. We want to change this. We want to get new couches. We want you to choose. Then they'll be like, oh, really, daddy? Even if they choose something you don't like. For example, they go, believe me, when they come into the house, they'll be like, I chose that right there. That's my choice. I made that decision. They feel home. They would come and whatever they choose and whatever they like, I guarantee you, they will spend more time in that area. So for example, you want to get a new sofa. Okay, son, today we're gonna go furniture shopping. You choose it. Then they like it, they will spend more time in that area. And when they spend more time in that area, it is a benefit for us. We spend our time in that area with them. And when their friends come over, they'll be like, hey, you know who chose that couch? Yeah, that was my choice, man. They'll be proud of it. But if you don't let them make decisions in the house, they're like, my mom and my dad, they don't care about my opinion. They don't care what I think. But when we include them in our decision making in the house, what color we want to paint the house, for example, we want to paint the interior of the house, change the floors, let them make the decision. When we let them make the decision, then they feel a part of the family and a part of this decision making in the house, and they will be more family orientated. Another one is take vacations together. Go on vacation. Tell your son, inshallah, this summer, as a family, we're gonna take a drive to Washington State and meet Brother Abdullah. For example, we're gonna go to New York. We're gonna go drive together and go to the ISNA or ICNA conference. Don't take a plane 2-3 hours, but take a trip with a car that will take you a couple days, maybe a day or two. Spend that time together. SubhanAllah, I remember when I was visiting Cambodia. My family, we visited my father-in-law. And we drove from the capital city to the border of Thailand. And it took us, SubhanAllah, because of my father-in-law will listen to this, so he'll probably get upset with me. But my father-in-law drives very slow. So it took us, SubhanAllah, maybe like 7, 8, 9 hours. It was a long time. But subhanAllah, sitting in the car while he was driving, we sat there and we bonded as a family. There's so many things that I learned about my father-in-law and my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law in that 8-hour drive. Then I've been married, 12 years now, 13 years now? Then my 13 years of marriage. Just that 8-hour drive, I learned so much about my in-laws. And so this drive that you take, this vacation that you take, camping, this and that, you will learn so much about your son and your kids and what they like to do. Because at home, we're in the house, out the house, we're busy as parents. And I admit it, yes, I know. We don't have much time. But plan. 1 week, son, your choice. Boys, your choice. Wherever you want to go, we're going to rent a car and we're going to go. So where do you guys want to go? Disneyland? You tell your dad, we're going to take a trip, inshallah.
Actually going to New York.
Oh, you're going to drive or?
Plane.
Oh, plane. That's what, 4 or 5 hours from that here? Change the plan, now we can drive. No, just the important thing is you take a trip as a family. But I prefer you to drive, so you have time. You stop here, you look at this. You stop here, you have dinner together as a family, lunch as a family, snack. You're singing, you're saying the salawat, and you're singing your Arabic songs and these type of adhkar you're doing together. Believe me, it will make the bond of your family so strong that you would want to do this on a monthly basis. So take a family vacation. So if your kids are listening to me, I want you kids, if you're listening to me, tonight or after Ramadan, tell your dad, mommy, daddy, I want to go here, and we want to go as a family trip. So every summer, save a week of the summer, and say, kids, this is for you. We're going to go anywhere you want to go. In the United States, not outside, right? In the United States. But if you have a budget, tell them, okay, son, daughter, this is our budget. So you look for the tickets, you look at the hotels, where you want to stay, where you want to go, what you want to do. You plan out the whole trip, mommy and daddy's just going to tag along with you. You want to see the Empire State Building, you want to see the Statue of Liberty. You guys plan it and say, Daddy, this is where I want to go. And as a father, okay, we're going to go. This is the time you're going and visiting these places. You can tell them, oh, son, look at this. SubhanAllah, look at the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fasiru fil ard. Allah said, go out and explore His creation. Don't just stay home. Go out and look at the creation of Allah. Look how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. So take vacation with your family. If not once a year, every other year. But believe me, you do it once a year, twice a year, your kids will gain this closeness to you that you wouldn't even... The bond that you will have as a family will be unbreakable. And the bond that you will have with your children will be unbreakable. And any parent that does this, but they can attest to it. They can... I'm gone from my son. This is the first time I've been separated from my family for 9 months. The first time. My boys are calling me every single day. Alhamdulillah, thanks to FaceTime. Thanks to Steve Jobs, right? That every day say, Daddy, when are you going to come home? This is the first time I've been away from them for the longest. I think it's like 5 or 6 days now. And they call me every day, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. Because we have such a bond that I see them every day. So, take vacation. Spend time with them. Forget work. Forget everything. Forget your bills. And go with them. And you will have the best time of your life. You come back from vacation, you email me or message me, Brother Abdullah, thank you for the advice. And if that happens, I just want one thing from you. Your du'as. Okay? So inshallah, this summer, make an intention to yourself, I'm going to bring my family out for vacation. Anywhere they want to go. Even go on Umrah trips. Maybe say, son, inshallah, 5 years from now, if dad has enough funds, mom have, go. We're going to go to Umrah. We're going to go. You know what I'm saying? Going to Umrah will be the biggest eye-opener for them. Because as kids, we pray there every single day. We pray towards that direction. We hear about this black box. We hear about Islam is from there and this. And the first revelation was revealed there. And so I think the group, the masjid just had just recently. And one of the brothers' sons told me, like, man, it was one of the most amazing trips ever in my life. It was like a journey, a trip to, that I will never forget. Praying towards that direction, 20 years of my life, and I finally get to see it. Like, it's so surreal. Seeing, like, I'm literally in Makkah walking in the streets that the Prophet ﷺ used to walk in. The area I went to see Ghar Hira, where the first revelation was revealed. It was just mind-blowing. Making Umrah, circulating. They felt something. So this is something as parents that we have to do. Take vacation for the sake of our children. So these are some type of, things that, we as parents can do to, inshallah, gain, have strengthen our bonds with our children. Have, a better relationship with them. Now, there's some things that maybe the masjid, there's some things that I came with that the masjid can do. Because it does, not only a mother and father raises a child, but it takes a whole community. It takes a whole ummah to raise a child. So the masjid, I don't think the president is here. Maybe he's busy. But inshallah he will listen to my speech. Or the former president is here, so that's enough. Maybe he can convey it. I don't even know who the vice president is. No vice president?
Not in here.
Oh, not in here. Oh. But inshallah we can convey it. That we as a community, as a masjid, should have events that youth take charge. We tell them, oh my youth, we have $15,000 for you guys. And we want you guys to make 10 programs, 10 events. For example, summer camps. We want you guys to choose the location for summer camp and you guys to be the chaperone of the younger boys, of the younger children. Storytelling, campfires, barbecues. You guys will be in charge of the food, the events during the camp, this and that. Night markets, game nights, movie nights, barbecues. We want you guys, we have this much amount of money and we want you guys to get together and be in charge, and we just as elders, as board members, we just want to come and enjoy. We want you guys to run the show. We want you guys to take charge. When we give them this, not burden, I was going to say burden. When we give them this responsibility, then they feel like, man, I have a sense of, responsibility in the community. The community wants me to do something. They feel a sense of responsibility in the community. But if we always say, okay, we're going to have these activities, but only the board will take care of it. No. I'm not saying the board shouldn't plan events, but some events that we have, let the youth take care of it. We give them this money, and we have them write a proposal. This is what we want to do, this is what we want to do. And we ask them questions. Okay, what if this comes? What if this happens? Then, so we prepare them. We're preparing them for the future. When we give them these responsibilities, then in the future, 10 years from now, they will know how to handle responsibilities of the masjid, how to run events, how to manage events. We're preparing them for the future. But if we do it ourselves, oh, we're going to do it, then when is their chance? When will they be able to take charge? So when we give them responsibilities, and when we give them charge of events, they feel a sense of responsibility within the community. They feel like they're a part of the community. And another thing is that as a community, have a day where the students or the youth can bring their non-Muslim friends to the masjid. Oh, astaghfirullah, you're going to bring non-Muslims to the masjid? Yes, uncles. Yes, we are. You have a problem? The Prophet ﷺ there were non-Muslims that came and asked and begged the Prophet for food and this and that. Have a day where the youth can bring their non-Muslim friends to the masjid. And we show them. A lot of these, you boys have non-Muslim friends, right? It's okay. They go to their private school. But no, but reality, the ones that are in public school, they have non-Muslim friends. And their non-Muslim friends know that they're Muslims, but they don't know what Muslims do. They only hear what Muslims do in the media. In the future, you guys will have friends that, when you go to work, when you go out in the real, and mingle with these people. Our kids have non-Muslim friends. And their non-Muslim friends know that they're Muslims, but they don't know what Muslims do. They don't know how Muslims worship. The only way they know that how Muslims are from the media, TV, radio. So have a day where we tell the youth, hey, boys, girls, bring any of your non-Muslim friends, and we're going to have a barbecue at the masjid. We're going to have a potluck. We're going to have events. We're going to show them how Muslims kick it, right? They say, how Muslims hang out, how Muslims party, but the halal way, right? This is what we have to do. Because if we tell them that, we don't welcome you guys, your non-Muslim friends here, then they're going to be, in the club, they're going to be doing this, in a house party, doing that and doing that. But when we tell them that you can bring your non-Muslim friends to the masjid, and have a day where you can hang out with your non-Muslim friends in the masjid, they would be like, wow, really? We can do that? Like, yes. And who knows? By having this non-Muslim friend day for the youth at the masjid, who knows? Maybe their friends will become Muslim because of this event that we have. So do this for the youth. It's not about us anymore, brothers and sisters, uncles. What we're doing now, what we're raising now, is for the next generation. I'm not saying don't care about our lives and this and no. It's important, but what we're doing now is for our future generation. Oh, 7:45 already. And again, number 3, make a career, a college, a professional day at the masjid. Have a career, a college, a professional day. A lot of you guys are professionals. A lot of the kids don't know this person is an engineer. This person works in, is an engineer. I talked to one of the brothers and I was amazed. Like, he works in he's an engineer. Like, some of the kids don't know what you are. And by you telling them this is what I do for work, and you having a booth like this and writing here like a mechanical engineer or a silver engineer table or something. And this is what, an IT consultant or this. This is what you do. Oh my goodness, I'm so good with computers and this is what I think I want to do. Then you open their way. You give them a way. You pave a way for their future. Because some of the kids don't know our professions. This person's an engineer, this one's a doctor, this one, IT. And when our children and our youth knows what we do, and they know that, okay, if I want to go into the computer field, I know to talk to the president. He's in the IT department. Then we can have a mentorship. We can mentor them. If they have any questions, I'm graduating high school next year and I want to go in IT. And I need help. I don't know what classes to take, what school I should apply for. So we as a masjid have to pave this road. Because if we help our youth to further their education, to become professionals, you know what happens? They will come back and give to the masjid. But if we don't, you know what happens? Remember those people that advised me? That group over there at that church or at that, that counselor? It's like, man, my masjid didn't do nothing for me for my future. My masjid didn't even help me. I couldn't even find help when I was graduating high school. Why would I give back to them? Why would I go back to them? This is what is going into them now. So we as a community should have career day, college day, professional day. Everyone here is a professional. Have booths. And tell them, like, IT, this is what I do. Have pamphlets. Have brochures and tell them, if you need help, this is the person that can help you get into to be an engineer, to be a mechanical engineer, to be a doctor, to be a dentist, to be this, to be that. So when we pave this way and when we help them for their future, by Allah, they will come back and give to the masjid. Because they knew that the masjid cared for their future. They knew that the masjid was the one that assists them to be and to who they want to be. So when we have these, they will come back and they will give and help the masjid. And the next thing is have a parent-child activity day. You know, have, for example, have a relay race. Relay races, have, you know, I see a field over there. Maybe one day you get all the children on one team and all the adults on one team and play soccer. I see a soccer field in front. Have that. Baseball or something. Even if you know, oh, I can't run, oh, my knees hurt, just go out there and stand. That's the most important. Have a child-parent day at the masjid where you bring your child, and even if you don't play again, or have a team building as a parent, for example, parent and child. You know, you guys compete against other parents and children in, you know, solving math problems, you know, Jeopardy or something like that. Do something. Then this way we can build as a family. We build the child and the parent together, and we build the community. So these are events that we can do. And also have a game room. Yes, have a game room where the kids can go play ping pong. You know, a library/game room. You know, your kids are going to watch TV. Whether or not you like it or not, they're going to watch TV. So have a place around the masjid where they have an intercom at the library. Have a TV in there. Have ping pong. Have pool. Have, what do you call it when you play soccer with the... Foosball. Thank you, bro. Have foosball. Then they're playing there. Yes, they're watching sports. Then, you know, when the Rockets got beat, right, by the Golden State. When they're playing, yes, when they're playing, and they hear that, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Oh, guys, okay, class, it's time to pray. They're around the masjid. Then they will come to the masjid. Have these type of game rooms. Even if they're playing video games, when they hear the adhan, they will come to the masjid. When they hear a talk, they will come to the masjid. This is what we have to do as a community, as a masjid, in order to, you know, build and gain trust with our youth. And make them feel welcome. Make them feel welcome. When they come, even though you as a person that don't like to smile, right? A lot of our elders, like this. And our children, you know, they think that the elders don't smile because they don't like you. No, that's just how elders are. Sometimes we just don't like to smile, right? But change it. Just change it. The Prophet said what? Smiling is sadaqah. وَلَوْ أَنْ تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ طَلْقٍ. When you meet, even don't belittle a deed, even if it's meeting your brother or your brother with a smile on their face. So when they come in, when you see a youth, big boys here, Assalamu alaikum, how are you guys? That's all you have to say. Smile and how are you guys? Oh, mashallah. They will feel happy. They come in and it's like, Assalamu alaikum. Like, oh man, this guy, what is wrong with him? Is he having a bad day? Did he wake up on the wrong side of the bed? You know, this is what will go through their heads. Like, man, if he's going to be like that, why do I need to come to the masjid? Why do I need to come to the masjid? The people are just going to come and be grumpy all the time. And last but not least, support them and love them. Be there for them. You know a kid is going through hard times. You know a kid is, you know, something happened to his mother, his father, or something is wrong with him. Go and just say, you know, we're here for you. And say salam to them. And be loving and be, as I told you, the Prophet ﷺ, every time he saw a kid, what did he do? He said salam, rubbed his head, and asked him how he was doing, and made dua for him. This was the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. That's why, look at Ali radiallahu anhu. That's why kids, during the time of the Prophet, became Muslim, accepted Islam. Because the manner the akhlaq and the adab of the Prophet ﷺ. Action speaks louder than words. So just by us saying salam to them and smiling to them, oh, subhanAllah, they'll be like, oh. And believe me, when you smile and say salam to you, the next day they see you, they will come and say salam to you before you can even say salam to them. That's how much that you've just connected with them. Just by smiling at them and saying salam to them. Some of the kids, they said, one of the elders, subhanAllah, I told one of the elders in the community who never likes to really smile or say salam to anyone. He likes to just come in the masjid and do his thing. And some of the kids told me hey, Brother Abdullah, what's wrong with that man? They said, what's wrong with that man? He's always mad. He's always mad. I see him, he never smiles. I've never seen his teeth before, they said. I was like, maybe he doesn't have teeth. I said, I was joking with them. I was like, maybe he doesn't have teeth. I was like, no. And then so I went to the brother, the uncle. I was like, uncle, the kids, came and had a concern. And they said, they always think that you're mad. Every time you see them, you're mad. You don't like children or something. He's like, no, I'm just tired, I'm sick. He told me, I'm sick, I'm tired. It's so hard for me just to walk to the masjid. Driving and coming to it takes a lot of toll on my body. So I come in, I'm sick. It's not like I'm mad or anything. I was like, oh, I see, uncle. But if you can try to smile to them. And just when they come in, and when you see them and you say salam to them and smile at them. He said, okay, inshallah, inshallah. And he said, brother, the first time I came and I smiled and I said salam to a younger boy, there was not a day that I saw this kid, he would say salam to me before I can even say salam to him. For me, my first time smiling at him and saying salam to him, it changed the day. Every time he sees me, before I can even say salam, he comes and he says, Uncle, salam alaikum, and he hugs me. Just because of that gesture, that thing I did, I smiled and I said salam to him. So if you don't smile a lot, smile more. But don't be alone in the bathroom and smile. Then they think something's wrong with you. But smile more often. This is sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. When you smile, even if to non-Muslims, when you go to the grocery store, you're paying you're at the cashier. 99% of us are smiling, right? Oh, we talk to the cashier. How are you? How's your day? Well, that's me. I like to converse with you. And my wife is like, man, you talk to us sometimes. But then when we go home and we see our wives, we don't smile anymore. But when we go to see the cashier at the store, we're smiling, we're happy. And when we go home, we don't smile anymore. And our wives have more right to our smiles than anyone else. I'm not saying that this brother, no, it's your wife. Your responsibility. So my brothers and sisters in Islam, smile to the youth more. Just smile. Support them and love them. That's all you have to do. When you see them, smile and say salam to them. Say salam to them before they can say salam to you.
I'm smiling.
Then inshallah, it's going to smile. So inshallah, by just these things that we as parents and as a community can do, inshallah, with the help and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will gain the trust of our youth. We will gain the friendship of our youth. And we will strengthen the bond that we have with our youth. I know we have a nice bond. That's the community here, alhamdulillah, with our youth. But there's always work that we can do. There's always things that we can do to build our strength and our bond with our youth. Then inshallah tomorrow we'll continue وَصِحَّةَ قَبْلَ سَقَامٍ وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرٍ وَحَيَاةَ قَبْلَ مَوْتٍ. So inshallah today we just went over Shabab Qabla Haram. And I told the sister, I don't know, maybe she's busy today, but I told her that, that we were going to go over some things that we as a community and as a parent can do to help our youth and to, keep their Muslim identity. Because brothers and sisters, reality, they're out there and they're out in the toxic. We send them to, public school. We send them, they're out there. And what they see, just one day, put yourself in their shoe. Walk in their shoe. I guarantee you'll be like, astaghfirullah, subhanallah, astaghfirullah. This is what they see every day.
Since you touched about the public school, and then what are your suggestion to establish like the institution, the education in our community? I know you are very concerned about that too.
I know a lot of us as parents, we don't have time. You know, we work, we do this and we do that. But there's so many alternatives. There's many Islamic schools. We can even homeschool our child. And you know, if you homeschool your child, I just learned this I don't know about Texas, but in California, if you homeschool your child and you at least have a college degree, you can get $1,000 a month of grant from the government. I don't know if it's for Texas. They have that here? They have that here. So even if we have, for example, homeschooling our children, then we have tutor center at the masjid. We have some professionals, some sisters that, you know, have gone to college. We can establish a small, you know, homeschooling program in our masjid, and we can inculcate and we can, you know, add Islamic curriculums in there. So our children can be in an Islamic environment. So your child is doing homeschool. And if you plan to do homeschool, like inshallah in the future, my wife and her friends are talking about homeschooling our children. And some of the sisters, you know, this sister said, oh, I'm good at math. Oh, I'm good at social studies. I'm good at English. I'm good at this. So then they said, okay, inshallah, when our child gets that age, you'll teach math, you'll teach this, you'll teach that. By homeschooling our children, we'll see a difference. Because when they're in public school, I'm telling you, it's toxic. Then maybe after homeschooling them, maybe elementary school, junior high school, then maybe, who knows, in high school we can let them out with the sharks, right? We can throw them out with the sharks. It's like, okay, you're ready for life. Inshallah, I prepared you as a father, as a community, we prepared you the best we can. Now we're going to throw you out with the sharks, right? We're going to throw you out in the real world. And inshallah, we gave you the tools and we've educated you enough. Inshallah, you can cope with all these, you know, temptations that you will see. Inshallah. Because our kids are going to have to mix and mingle with the non-Muslim. This is reality. So we as parents have to prepare them, the best for them. And we want the best for our children. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our children.
Ameen.
And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us, you know, the energy and the himma, the desire to make our children better Muslim, to be a better Muslim and to be a better son, a better brother, and a better, you know, human being in general. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.